Imagine stepping into a place so chilling, your heart races even though there's no immediate danger. America hides some terrifying secrets, but what's the most haunted place in the US, and why is it so terrifying? Welcome back to Maps Explained, where we uncover the mysteries your geography class never taught you. If you love hidden secrets and dark places, click subscribe so you don't miss our next exploration. Stick around, because you're about to experience the bone-chilling stories behind America's most haunted places. Bell Witch Cave and Farm, Adams, Tennessee. John Bell mysteriously died in 1820, allegedly strangled by the ghostly Bell Witch. His family endured violent poltergeist attacks, unseen slaps, and choking sensations.
And several witnesses have sworn that they've heard a spirit saying, "I am nothing more than old Kate Batts' witch." Batts was a neighbor of the Bell family, and she was known in Robertson County for her eccentric ways. Varying accounts say that she had a quarrel with John over what was believed to be a botched land deal. Out of revenge, the woman allegedly cursed the family when she died, and from that point on, the spirit was given the name Kate, the Bell's witch.
Visitors today hear whispers and feel an unsettling presence in the cave. Bell Witch Cave's narrow, winding passages trap visitors, intensifying feelings of being stalked. In 2015, a paranormal investigator felt a sudden tightness around his throat deep in the cave. Struggling to breathe, he stumbled out, barely escaping. Marks appeared on his neck, identical to fingers grasping tightly, leaving him shaken and forever haunted by the encounter. But this isn't the craziest story. Lemp Mansion, St. Louis, Missouri. The mansion's elaborate layout, with hidden passageways and echoing halls, traps both sounds and spirits within. Guests hear phantom footsteps, voices, and chilling cold spots. Once home to the Lemp family, 4 family members killed themselves, devastated by personal tragedies and financial ruin. In 2012, an overnight guest woke suddenly to see a shadowy figure standing silently at her bedside. Unable to move, she watched helplessly as the ghost leaned close and whispered unintelligible words before vanishing. Villisca Axe Murder House, Iowa. In 1912, 8 people, including 6 children, were brutally murdered here with an axe. Visitors report intense heaviness and cries echoing from nowhere. The small, claustrophobic layout of the house seems to trap the residual agony, making visitors feel unable to escape.
One visitor who came to seek out the ghostly residence was Robert Stephen Larson Jr., who arrived in Villisca in November of 2014 with a group of friends for what was later called a recreational paranormal investigation. As night fell and the party was making their way through the house, Larson was left alone in the northwest bedroom. Suddenly, his friends heard him yell for help through their 2-way radios and found Larson stabbed in the chest. The wound appeared to be self-inflicted. According to a Montgomery County police report, the incident happened around 12:45 a.m., which was the approximate time that the murders took place in 1912.
House of Death, New York City. This confined, dense urban structure intensifies feelings of entrapment and despair. Guests describe encountering cold, damp entities and intense despair. In 1957, writer Jan Bartel was writing in her room when an unseen hand touched her shoulder, ice cold and clammy. She turned around, only to face an empty room. Bartell later died mysteriously, just before publishing her book on the hauntings. In 1987, Joel Steinberg violently killed his girlfriend's 6-year-old daughter here. 22 spirits are believed to haunt the building today. RMS Queen Mary, Long Beach, California. This luxury liner turned wartime transport echoes with unexplained footsteps, whispers, and chilling presences. The ship's narrow passageways and isolated cabins trap sound and spirits alike, heightening paranormal activity. 49 documented deaths occurred on board, including tragic accidents. In 1966, crewman John Petter was crushed by a watertight door. Visitors now report hearing his desperate screams echo through the corridors at night. Cahawba, Alabama, Ghost Town. Cahawba floods visitors with spectral lights and ghostly apparitions. Its location near riverbanks, which are prone to flooding, enhances the haunting presence of those lost to tragedy. Once Alabama's capital, hundreds died here from floods, fever, and Civil War skirmishes. In 2013, a group of campers heard whispers and footsteps circling their tents at night. At sunrise, footprints surrounded their camp, though no one else had been there. But there are places far more disturbing ahead. Lake Lanier, Georgia. Built over submerged towns and cemeteries, Lake Lanier notoriously pulls victims beneath its waters. And not just a few. Over 700 people have passed away at Lake Lanier since 1956.
Back in 2007, there was a drought, and the water went way low. And because of that, they found an area called the Samore Mountains, Indian Mountains. It's considered a sacred area that belonged to the Native Americans. The Creeks and the Cherokees. Lake Lanier was built by the Army Corps of Engineers. And according to the Army Corps of Engineers, they removed all the bodies while they were creating Lake Lanier. But back when they were building these lakes, they didn't have ground-penetrating equipment. So there's a great likelihood that there are bodies of the Native Americans under the waters of Lake Lanier.
Visitors describe the water as eerily thick, resisting escape. In 2017, divers investigating a drowning incident felt something underwater pulling them deeper, barely escaping alive.
Lake Lanier, from the surface, looks clear, but we hear it time and time again when we respond to these drownings. People that say that he didn't go in the water, come up, struggle, and drown. He went in and never came back up. And this happens time and time again.
Yo, look guys, one thing I've learned from researching all of these haunted locations, whenever someone builds some shit on a Native American burial ground, it never ends well. And finally, America's most haunted place. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, West Virginia. Built in 1858, this massive Gothic facility once housed thousands of mentally ill patients. Many endured horrific treatments like electroshock therapy and lobotomies until the asylum finally closed in 1994. That's not that long ago. Over 20,000 souls died here from overcrowding, disease, and violence. 20,000. That's a lot of spirits to haunt one building. Visitors report disembodied screams, ghostly touches, and an intense feeling that they're not alone. The hospital's Gothic architecture and maze-like corridors amplify its chilling atmosphere. A group touring the asylum in 2015 heard faint cries from an empty ward. Following the sounds, they saw a shadowy figure vanish into thin air. Moments later, the screams intensified, echoing from every direction. If you enjoyed exploring America's most haunted places, click like, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments. Which place would you dare to visit? And which haunted location should we dive into next? If you enjoyed this video, you'll love these next two.